My name is VID01530, and I'm here to talk to you about a increasing issue within sports, collegiately and professionally. My question to you is, should athletes be able to put their health at risk just for some people, a fractional advantage in physical performance on the field or court? The choices some of these athletes are making are completely detrimental to their body and beyond the knowledge that they are walking into the situation at hand at. In my mind, I feel as though taking performance-enhancing drugs is a type of artificial cheating mechanism for athletes. They don't want to put in as much time and effort as they used to back in the old day, and obviously the drugs are a lot more readily available to athletes today as than when they were in the past, even so 50 years. So today I'm going to be talking about the vast health effects of using performance-enhancing drugs, the main, most important way of preventing the use of performance-enhancing drugs, and to protect the health of our athletes, you know, with the benefits that we can reap from instilling this one prevention methodology by professional organizations such as the NFL, NBA, MLB, and in collegiate sports all throughout the NCAA. So looking at the health risks that come along with using performance-enhancing drugs, if you want to reference my prior lecture to you guys with my informational speech, you can draw a couple conclusions. According to George Mitchell, which is the author of the Mitchell Report, who wrote a report to the commissioner of the MLB about a bunch of players that he investigated on that were using performance-enhancing drugs to enhance their performance on the field. He states that a lot of the problems that come along with performance-enhancing drugs are, in fact, life-threatening, and they can be very detrimental to your body, your mind, and your mind. So on the inside, your body can be affected. You can have organ failure, cardiac arrest, and then moving outward a little bit, you can have very simple signs of increased acne, a lot on the back. You can have a forward body build. You can have enlarging masculine features such as the jaw, women with growing hair, men losing hair because of the offset in hormones between the men and women. You're gaining with the opposite hormone of what you're supposed to be taking in. Also, moving into the mind a little bit, it can cause a lot of people have homicidal and suicidal thoughts. So if you look at somebody and their whole enzymatic system is completely off, their mind is being thrown all which ways, and they're just getting confused in life, and such minor things can affect their mind so detrimentally. And a lot of these people have behavioral problems with constant mood swings from sad to happy to absolute anger, throwing things, fighting people, or constantly being down themselves for not being able to perform to the level that they would like to perform at. So now that we've taken a look at the effects, let's take a look at a way that we can prevent this from occurring in our sports. The main way that I feel as though that these organizations could have put a stop to performance-enhancing drug use in professional and collegiate sports is by mandatory drug testing throughout female and male sports. If you take a look at instilling mandatory drug testing, there's a lot of loopholes to be able to jump through that people can do. I mean, they can change the cycle of their drug use so it matches up with when they're drug testing, so they don't test positive in that particular time period. So in order to avoid such mishaps, they would have to instill multiple drug testings throughout the year. They would have to drug test at the beginning of the season, during the season, and midway through the off-season, just to ensure that during the off-season training, athletes don't pick up and try to, use these drugs to enhance their ability going into the following season. Thinking that they might have a possible chance to star, enhance their ability to be drafted sooner, or move on to an Olympic team if they're a swimmer or a track runner or something like that. So, looking at the mandatory drug testing, it would in 3 different segments could limit or possibly even stop performance-enhancing drug use across the board. So now that we've seen that drug testing can limit and stop these this problem with performance-enhancing drugs, I move to my final point, which is the benefits that we can reap from instilling these drug tests. I personally, I know many people. I've been involved with collegiate sports my whole life, and I know a lot of people have been affected by performance-enhancing drugs, and I know my friends, because I have an athletic family and friend base, and I know a lot of people have been affected very badly from taking such drugs. I know people that have had to have 5, 7 shoulder surgeries, and they had to stop playing their sport just because they were trying to be better than everybody else at that particular sport. So, looking at the benefits that we can get from putting this into play is that I feel as though our athletics have strayed from their foundation. There used to be such pride and sportsmanship, and their players were such ethical, hard-working, putting the time to be what they could be. And now with these drugs, and players are taking shortcuts to get to their optimum level of play, so they think. So putting these drug tests in would eliminate unfair or unethical play amongst players, with the shortcuts and lying to themselves, their friends, their family, and their coaches. Also, it would recreate sportsmanship. As I said earlier, in my mind, I feel as though it's an artificial way of cheating. This, in my mind, is absolutely appalling among sports. Sportsmanship is one of the biggest accolades that you can receive in sports. They give out sportsmanship awards in all different organizations, professional and collegiate. And for people to be lying to their so-called best friends, people even consider them family, is mind-blowing to me, and I don't understand why somebody would want to put their loved ones through such a mentally trying experience. Lastly and finally, it keeps our athletes safe and healthy. Why would we want to put our loved ones in jeopardy of taking an artificially made substance into their body to possibly enhance their athletic ability? It makes absolutely no sense when, if you just start and you put in the time and the effort to try to get to where you need to be, it's not going to make a difference. I mean, it really won't. So today I've shared with you my feelings on the subject, and to bring it all together, we need to be aware of the risks that come along with using performance-enhancing drugs. We need to know the prevention on how to prevent the use of these drugs, and we need to, as you can see, realize the benefits that we can receive from instilling these types of preventions. So what I ask everybody to do is, if you're near a high school, if you have an affiliation with a high school, even youngsters in pound ball sports, go to them, talk to them, speak to them, and make sure that they realize the risks that they could take in moving up into the next level. Contact officials if you know people in the collegiate area or professional area. Every little bit counts. So, I mean, if just one call, it really makes a difference. I mean, people are trying to brush this under the carpet, and it's completely unnecessary. It's time for these organizations to intervene and help stop the use of performance-enhancing drugs. So I appreciate everybody for listening, and I challenge each and every one of you to make a call and make a difference.